Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Favorite culture building activity that you guys do?
I'll tell you one thing we started doing this spring that's been really profitable is just, hey, we're going to go for a walk, and you can't talk basketball. So we've got a walking trail that kind of goes back to the woods and things on campus, and we'll just say, hey, tomorrow, what time when you have break, let's go for a walk. No basketball talk, and it's just relationship building. Trying to have a good connection, know what's going on with those guys. By the time everybody comes to practice, it's go, 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 get dressed, hurry, get out on the court, let's start working on this. And you may not realize that somebody's depressed, and dealing with something off the court or got some stuff going on. So we tried to open the door for that. When school started back this fall, it was still really hot. And so to go for a walk, you'd want to do it really early in the morning. So I've also thrown out there, hey, you want to go for a walk? Or you want to go play ping pong or pool tomorrow? And so we can just have some time together to have a little short conversation. So if you can just do one guy a day or every other day, and if each guy on our staff is doing that, and then we can try and go through the team and make those connections, hopefully fairly often. So every couple of weeks they're getting to spend some one-on-one time with a coach or with the head coach, and we can then update our staff, with what things we learn, during those times. So that's been really, really profitable. Another thing that we've done just within the team is we call them life maps. But we're hey, you got 30 minutes, and it's a significant chunk of time. But tell me about your family heritage. Tell me about some high times you've had in your life. Tell me about some hard times you've had in your life. Tell me about some heroes that really influenced you growing up. Tell me about a way that you've seen the hand of God work in your life. And if we can just go through those 5 things and ask questions, and guys put together PowerPoints and show pictures, and that's been really good just to kind of know, wow, I had no idea, this guy's father passed away when he was 12 years old, or, whatever it is, or different things that people have been through. And it really helps draw the team closer together and makes it a bonding time.
Man, both of those are great. I love how simple the walk idea is. Yeah, just go for a walk, but the no basketball thing, that's the huge piece, because
that's more for the coaches.
Right, because with our players, how much of our interaction with them is based on the game, around the game. And so, but if we want to truly be transformational, we have to know the entire person. How do the players react? How are they during those walks? Is it a little slow at first with getting stuff out of them, and then how do they go?
Yeah, so now it's become a little bit more natural, but early on, the first time we started doing that, it was like, what? Am I in trouble? Why are we going for a walk? But the great thing about walking is if you have a couple of minutes of quiet, it feels a little bit less awkward. If you're just sitting in the office staring at each other, it's like they feel like they're in the principal's office. And, if there's a pause in the conversation, it feels really awkward. But if you're walking, it's all right. We're doing something. Or if you're playing ping pong or, whatever, it's a lot less awkward that way. And then it allows time for questions to come out or people to then open up a little bit more.
With your life maps, with those talks, how you said 30 minutes, how do you usually organize it with, how many players are going at a certain time? How much time do you give them ahead to think about it?
Yeah, so they'll have a week or 2 or 3 weeks to prepare. We'll maybe sign up for the next 3 or 4 weeks when we've done this in the past, and then say, hey, on this day, these 2 guys are going. We got an hour block set aside, so we'll just get through 2 guys that day, and give them an opportunity so they can prepare. Maybe put a PowerPoint or something together, or bring some pictures to share. I encourage them to do that. I think visual aids helps everybody. It helps the person who's speaking, but it also helps the people that are listening to engage a little bit. So if you can make it visual and just focus on those 5 things: heritage, heroes, high times, hard times, hand of God. That helps give you some hooks to kind of hang your thoughts on, and makes it makes it flow pretty easy. And it's amazing when people are talking about themselves, they don't want to get up and give a speech for 2 minutes, but you can get guys going for 20 minutes easy.
That's what I was going to ask is, man, 30 minutes is a long time for a young man to stand up there and speak in front of a group. They usually take, like 15, 20, even 30 minutes.
Yeah, they think it's going to be really hard, but once they just start talking and you're just telling about your family, and it usually goes. I mean, we're often sometimes, all right, it's time to cut it. Let's move on to the next guy. And we leave time for questions. They may actually only be presenting for 15 or 20 minutes, and then there's some questions, Q&A, and follow up on maybe some things that they said. And so it's more conversational, and it flows pretty well.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.